Broadcasting. Welcome, everyone. We're excited to present this webinar today and talk about transferable skills. Let's start with a few introductions and announcements. My name is Brett Williams, and I'm one of the founders of Me&3, and I'm also the president and lead the day-to-day operations of the company. I'm joined today by Sarah Austin, who is in charge of customer success for Me&3. By the way, we are recording this webinar so it can be replayed for others in the future. And if you have any questions, please type them into the Q&A part of the Zoom meeting. We'll answer those at the end of the session. This is one in a series of webinars that we're doing, so please watch for announcements on others in the series. So let's go ahead and get started. You know, we're all facing uncertain times right now, and getting a job is more challenging than ever. We're faced with higher unemployment, which means the job market is more competitive. So what can we do to be more marketable for the jobs that are available? Today, we're going to talk about transferable skills and what they are and how to leverage them in your job search. So with that, I'm going to flip it over to Sarah and let her start on the presentation.
Thank you so much, Brett. Now, we all know the overall meaning of skills, and we have a general idea of what our skills are. But did you know that there are actually different types of skills? We can break those skills into three different categories. There are technical skills, which are also sometimes referred to as hard skills, which are our trades and our profession. It's something that you know how to do, like styling, programming, maybe operating a specific piece of machinery, accounting, or a specific software. Now, soft skills are the skills that are not necessarily tied to any one particular job, but they're often considered more like a personal attribute that affects the way that we work with others and impact our interpersonal communications. Some examples of soft skills are time management, detail-oriented, outgoing, problem-solving, and organized. Transferable skills are probably the most important type of skills. These are the combined hard and soft skills that you learned in one job that can seamlessly transfer to any other job. These also require the most thought for us to identify because they can be quite unique to our own individual experiences. So I'll provide an example of my own. In my role as an operations coordinator, I learned how to create complex spreadsheets and documents. Being able to do that is a skill that I can use in just about any other job that I'm going to apply for.
You know, I would also add that depending on the job type, soft skills may be more important than the technical skills and vice versa. You know, for instance, in a customer service role, oftentimes the soft skills are more important and stand out. But then in a technical role, like a software developer, the technical skills are probably more important. So it depends on the job.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll provide a few more examples of some transferable skills in just a few slides. So how do we identify our skills? Well, we can start by taking a skills inventory. Now, this will take a little bit of time, but the first thing you should do is go ahead and list out all of your skills that you can think of. Be sure to include technical skills, soft skills, and transferable skills. You also want to include your education on that list. This is what we'll call your skills inventory. Being fully aware of all of your skills will help you market yourself to potential employers. What I'm going to suggest you do after you create your skills inventory is go ahead and rank them. Rank them from first to last, with your absolute strongest skill being in the #1 spot. A good goal is a list of about 20 skills. Now, you don't have to have that many, or you might have more, and that's great. Just make sure they're the skills that you actually possess. What's important once you've made this list is to make sure that your top 10 skills appear on your resume, either in your skills list or your experience. If you can get all of them on there, that's awesome, but you absolutely need to make sure that your top 10 are on one of those documents so that you're best representing your skills.
Yeah, and don't be shy. This is the time to brag about yourself. And by the way, 20 may sound like a lot, It's really not once you get going on your list. And if you come up with 10 in your first draft, great. You can always come back and build on that later.
Here are some good examples of transferable skills from several key positions in the restaurant, hospitality, and travel industries. As you can see, there are many different types of skills that can easily transfer into other job types. So some of the examples that I've provided are for a server, where you'll have things like cash handling and order taking, a housekeeper, where you have things like sanitization and time management. In our travel industry, we have travel agents who have calendar management skills and also have a wealth of industry knowledge that they're able to transfer into other types of jobs. And in the hospitality industry, our concierge, who does payment processing, bookings and cancellations, so that calendar management falls into that again, and directing customers to where they need to go. So as you can see, these are just a few short examples, but all of these skills are able to transfer into other job types.
Yeah, and one thing that's important too is that you know, as a, like for instance, a practical application of this is that if I'm a server now, I might be great in a sales role. As a server, I have to listen closely to my customers. I have to deliver great customer experience. I'm compensated based on my performance. So those are all attributes of a salesperson. So that's a great example of kind of a shift from using those transferable skills from one job to the next.
Now, employers often value these skills because they can be used in so many different ways in the workplace. Transferable skills are developed as you progress through employment, education, and training. According to a 2019 survey conducted by LinkedIn, 57% of senior business leaders said that transferable and soft skills are actually the most important skills that they're looking for in a potential candidate. It's important that you emphasize your transferable skills throughout your application documents and during your interview. These skills can go a long way to persuading a potential employer that you're the perfect fit for their company, even if you don't necessarily have the experience. Now, Me in3 has recorded a few webinars that you can access on our blog at mein3.com that will give you information and instructions on how to tell your story and present your skills. So check out those webinars at mein3.com. Just click on the blog button at the top of the page.
Yeah, and you know, identifying your transferable skills and understanding all of your skills is so much more important now than it ever has been. As this economy continues to evolve, knowing what your skills are and how to present them is extremely critical in the job search. So that's everything that we had to share today. We want to thank you again for joining us and wanted to see if we have any questions that have been asked. Looks like we have one question. This person says, I don't have any work experience. How can I put together a set of skills that will be appealing to to people hiring?
That's actually a really good question. So even if you've never held a job, you still have skills. So what I would definitely encourage you to do is think about maybe clubs that you participated in. Go back to your education. You know, what did you do in school that could transfer or be described as a skill? Maybe even a special project that you worked on in school. You could definitely talk about that. Think about all of the skills throughout those experiences. Maybe you volunteered at church or in some other sort of group activity. Think about the things that you did during those. Maybe you had to work as part of a team. Maybe you had to communicate with all different types of people. Those are all skills that you can add to your skills inventory. Very
true. Well, that looks like the only question that we have today. So we want to thank everyone for their time. Thank you for the question. We hope this information's been helpful, beneficial. Please let us know if there's anything we can do. As always, we really want you to be successful in your job search. Be safe, be healthy. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.